room. Oh, Jesus is my God. And He right side on my street. He gives me all my medicine in my room.
I want to see. Listen, I want to see the hands of you that know him to be a doctor in the sick room. If you know he's a doctor, let me hear you say yes. Well, grandmama came out that closet and she made her way back to the living room. And everybody was just singing and praising the Lord. The children had gotten happy. The white lady had got happy. And while they were praising the Lord, there come a knock on the door. They were just praising the Lord. Daughter ran to the door and said, "Who is it?" The man that was standing at the door said, "Listen, little girl, I'm the doctor. If you don't mind, I was just in these bars and I needed a place to turn into. Would you mind if I come in?" He walked in that room. He walked in that room and mama didn't say anything. Everybody else was happy. She just raised her voice and said this.
There is joy in I said joy in the room. Oh, Jesus is my God. And He right on my street. He gives me all my medicine in my room.
Let me hear you say yes. Let me hear you say yes. If you're going to be a doctor, say yes.
For the ones who feel like they're defeated, too weak to stand back up and fight. For the ones still running, He is waiting. Like a father with arms open wide. Won't you lift your eyes from the ground? Heaven is calling out. Come and see where true love is found. If you're looking for freedom, looking for a breakthrough, looking for somebody who knows every pain that you're holding, the things that you're going through. If you got a heart that's broken into pieces, if you need a healer, savior, a miracle maker, then you don't have to look no farther than Jesus. No farther than Jesus. Look no farther than Jesus. For the ones who feel they've been rejected, for the ones who hang their heads in shame, won't you lift your eyes from your doubt? The cross is calling now with power that can turn your life around. If you're looking for freedom, looking for a breakthrough, looking for somebody.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
And hello.
How y'all doing?
Today is, what is it? Monday, September 8th in the year of our Lord,
Hallelujah.
2025.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And by the way, and that's Johnny sitting over there. No, I'm just kidding. That's not Johnny. I know y'all said Johnny didn't change. He ain't wearing his hat.
Right. So listen, guys, we have a wonderful, wonderful person that is joining us today in studio, because that's what we're gonna need, because we gotta bless Brenda. So we got a wonderful person joining us in studio. I don't know if Johnny is gonna be showing up shortly, but we are joined today by the Dr. Julia Danley. Everybody give her a hand. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about her. This is, again, Dr. Julia Danley. She's an accomplished leadership life coach with over 30 years of experience in turnaround leadership as a teacher, academic coach, a school improvement coordinator, secondary school principal, and director of personalized learning. She specializes in providing coaching services to a diverse range of clients, including executive, managers, entrepreneurs, educators, CEOs, parents, and students. So again, I want y'all to welcome Dr. Julia Danley to the show today.
Oh, look at it. She looks so cute over there. Yes, Lord.
So we're happy. We're excited to have her today, and we're gonna be talking about some stuff. Y'all might as well get your popcorn, get your, if you drink Jesus juice, get your Jesus juice. If you don't, get you some water, and if you got the diabetes, get you something that ain't got no sugar in it.
Well, I they told me I couldn't have no wine. She didn't tell me I couldn't have no wine.
Jesus turned water into wine.
I mean, that's why I call it Jesus juice.
That's because she was just saying, she said she's a chaplain. And I was like, well, I don't need no exorcism none over here. I ain't cussing today. I ain't cussed nobody out today.
That's good.
I've been doing real good.
You said cuss or curse?
Cuss, C-U-S-S.
So who told you that was a cuss word?
Oh, come on now, bring it on so people can hear it. Because you speak.
Well, the Bible says, "Let nothing corrupt come out of your mouth." So the Bible talks about curse, C-U-R-S-E. So if I curse you and say, "I hope you die," that's a curse. So who said that those words people swear is a bad word? Who decided that was a bad word?
Oh, come on and bring it on. Bring that word for us.
Say
it again. Say it again.
Listen.
Let nothing corrupt come out your mouth and saying, I hate my sister, I hate my brother, or I wish he'll die, or how
those type of things. That's the C-U-R-S-E.
Yes. So, and then the Bible says, let nothing corrupt come out of your mouth. So who decided that the words that people say are corrupt?
That, you know what?
I say fraud. I said fraud is corrupt. Stealing is corrupt.
Come on.
Theft, murder.
Come on. Adultery
is corrupt.
See, everybody keep that, they eat me up about it all the time. And I'm like, who's decided that, this particular word was a curse word or a cuss word? Like, who made this word a bad word?
No,
why
I don't even know, because and we're going to move on to our topic, because I told you we were going to be talking about these school things, stuff like that. But my aunt wait, what's it? I can't think of it. I'm my mind went blank. But my great aunt Frances, that's her name. Frances cussed all the time. She get up then I said cuss, C-U-S-S-E-D, get up in the morning, good so-and-so morning. Because there's some old people, that's what they do. You have a so-and-so day. They don't mean anything by it. They just, or when you stump your foot, you say, Yes.
And there is no equivalent word. When you stump your toe, there is no other word but that word. And y'all know what word I'm talking about.
Maybe it's not, maybe they mean that's not good etiquette.
They could say that. And there's a lot of things I do that's not good etiquette, but I ain't gonna talk about it on air. But let me just tell y'all right up front, our call-in number is 478-250-1444. Y'all may want to call in on this one. And if you are listening on Facebook, share. Yes. Because we want to hear from you. And I know my folk in Macon, sometimes y'all don't say nothing. Y'all will sit back and then I'll see you in the street. Hey, I remember that show
Mm-mm.
when y'all was talking about this or talking about that. So that's cool too. But I want you to know that, you know, the people who support us on our show financially want to know that you're listening. So we really, really need you to share.
You know, that's by design though.
Come on now.
They monitor, but they don't want other people know that they are aligned with you because of you speak the truth or whatever. They'll watch my page, but they won't share what it is. Because if they share it, then people will see, oh, okay, they are sharing it. Right. They don't want that.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
That's called trolling.
You got it.
That's trolling.
If you got
Facebook.
2,000 views, but then
you
the
got
2,000
shares
views and you have 5 shares, you don't have 2,000 shares. You don't have 2,000 likes, but you got 2,000 views. That's a monitoring spirit.
Oh, you better say it.
Hey, Matthew.
Hey, how you doing? You know, that's very interesting that you're saying. You know, Julie, I know you from SOAR Academy.
Yes.
And I want you to tell us a little bit about what you did in the county, in the school system, because we know that you know what you're talking about. Not that you need to validate that, but there are some listeners out there may not know about some of the things that you've done in your educational career. We touched on it.
Yeah, because I gave a broad introduction.
Right.
Yeah, I think we both know you from SOAR Academy. I've known you for many, many years. And so why don't you tell them just a little bit about your experience that just, you know.
Well, one of the things I actually started my first principalship at Westside High School.
Really?
I was working at the school district and as a grant coordinator, and that was under Dr. Dollarman. And they did not have a leader to go to Westside. And Westside had at least 50 staff members to leave because that was right after Laura Perkins, that big thing.
Okay, over there. Okay, Ace now.
Got it. So she left. So 49 staff members left. It was 2 weeks before school. And they said Dr. Delmar came into the meeting, said, well, we're going to send Dr. Danley to Westside High School. And I'm like, okay. Got there, and 2 weeks before school, we're having to hire. They even brought back staff they had fired. It was just but the school was staffed. Westside at that time, I'm not sure, I think it is now, but they had the highest gang participation. Westside High School, it was like 67 ninth graders turning 17, 18 years old in the ninth grade. You're supposed to be 14 in the ninth grade. You just name every worst situation. That's what it was. So I had 2 assistant principals that they had moved around. They were older and they had been moved. So I said, no, I got to get me a team. I called Dr. Dollarman. I said, I need me 2 bodyguards, 2 big guys. And that was, I call them Earthquake and Hurricane. That was that was Terrence, and he has passed, and Daniel Davis. And we had 3 things. I wasn't studying that code of conduct right there. I wasn't studying the code of conduct. Throw a blow, you got to go, you grown, you go home, and we don't do ISS.
Say that again. Say that again
so we can hear it.
You throw a blow, you got to go. You grown, you go home. No ISS. We don't babysit bad children. 17 fight, 10 days in charges. That's the special for Westside High School. The first year, and we were just cleaning up the culture. See, culture trumps everything.
Come on,
people
now.
Be trying to, you got to do these walkthroughs, the instruction, you got to make the school
get
safe.
It under control. Yeah.
My only focus was safety and order. With that alone, the graduation rate went from a 46 to like, I don't know if it was 54, I think it was 61.8 in 1 year. The graduation rate.
That's huge.
Without just doing anything other than making that a safe place for children and staff with the focus. Now, with that in mind, you have to, when God blesses you with a baby, right? You have to give that baby back to him.
Come on now.
And I said, God, you did this. This is your doing. So we are prayer warriors.
Come on now.
And those schools, if that school, any environment that I was in, it represented my relationship with Jesus.
Come on now.
So when you look at these schools, you think about the leader. Think about what's going on.
Right.
And if there's confusions and chaos, what did you say before we got on here?
I said the fish rots from the head.
The fish rot from the head. The head. So you cannot, even though they say separation of church and state, right? So we are the church. The temple of the Holy Spirit is in us. The church is in us, but we happen to work for the state. I can't be separated because God created me and he created the church.
Come on.
And so you walk in there with the power and the authority to have school, and we carry the rod of authority. And that's they want me to write a book. How did you turn the school around? Jesus? I mean, I can't say it was in, and loving people, loving children unconditionally, loving people unconditionally, forgiving every day, just basic things.
And you know what I said, I wanted to bring this up. I've visited SOAR several times for several reasons. I've done career day and different things like that at SOAR throughout the years. And one thing I can say is whenever I would go in SOAR, and for those of y'all that don't know what SOAR Academy is, it's what you would consider the alternative school. It's where children go when they've been kicked out of their home school for behavior, discipline issues, could be absences or whatever the case may be. They get sent over to SOAR. So SOAR holds some of Bibb County's most troubled students. I'll put it like that. But whenever I would walk into that building, you could hear a pin drop.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
And if you didn't know that it was an alternative school, you wouldn't know. So I've asked this several different people, and I'm gonna ask Dr. Danley, like the model that you created, and you just gave us your 3 points, but that model that you created, it worked at that school, right? So my question, I've even asked her this: why can't we take that model and implement that model in every school in Bibb County to get the discipline under control? Because I volunteer, I'm a registered volunteer for Bibb County. So I go into the schools and volunteer. And the school that I volunteered at last school year, I have never seen anything like that in my life. I've never seen a more disrespectful children, a more hateful staff. It was just chaos and disarray. And I'm just wondering, Dr. Danley, can your model be duplicated and used in these other schools? And if so, why do you think they have not done it?
Well, West Side to SOAR, and we should. It's in our strategic plan. The strategic plan for Bibb County Public Schools is implement personalized learning. So that's different when you are creating learning for the learner and not for the convenience of the adult. So my question to families and children is, how do you want to have school? We wrote grants. We wrote innovation grants. We were very innovative, level 4 innovation. We were innovative with our master schedule. But mind you, with even Westside having the highest gang participation, you have to figure out how to have peace and have school, right? Because you don't want them crossing. We ran 3 master schedules, block, traditional. Then we stretched our school day out from 7A to 7P. So that gave us a block of time. We had title dollars to do this and time to uniquely create a schedule for children, right? We were doing virtual before virtual. We were doing hybrid scheduling. We were doing mid scheduling, block. A child may have a block schedule in the morning, traditional schedule, but it takes a lot of work.
Let me just say this. One of the things that I've heard you say, and I think is really, really important, and what I heard you say was that you set boundaries and expectations. And you were clear with them, and you didn't deviate from that.
That's right.
They couldn't throw you a shiny object. They couldn't do that to you because you had within you the strength and the know-how and the wisdom to say, this is how I am going to lead, because I'm depending on my inner self, my God, my Jesus, to give me direction on how to do what I need to do. So I think a lot of it, Emily, has to do with setting clear boundaries and being strong enough to uphold those boundaries. Because for her to say, when you were saying, oh, look, if you grown, go home. That's a real tight boundary right there, because them kids there's a lot of children don't want to go home. And so I'm wondering, how did you maneuver that?
Yeah. So what the district, the state, they want you to have good test scores. They want you to have good discipline data, right? But if you handle your business in August, you don't have to worry about the rest of the semester. Okay.
Come on now.
If they know you're not playing in August, they're not going to try you for the rest of the semester. You may have to visit in October. They get a little antsy and then come back January. But if they know, and you got to know your children, you love them first. I knew when my kids was going to fight. I look at you. Why you got on the warm-up pants? Go to my office.
No.
Why you got your you don't dress like that? What you about to do? See, I look at my children. I pay attention to my children. I'm engaged with my children. I listen to my children.
That's important.
I listen to children. Okay. So the thing is, you couldn't work for me if you did not love children unconditionally.
Now come on now.
If they call you a B word on Tuesday, you got to forgive by Wednesday. I'm sorry. We are here to serve, not to be served. And so leaders have to have the mindset that they are servants. You think I care who parked in my parking space? No. You think I care who go in my office and use my office? No. That don't belong to me. That belong to y'all. You all the taxpayers. But see, what happened when you get into these leadership positions, you forget your role.
Come on now.
Jesus was a transformational leader. Jesus served. Servitude and love runs the school.
Servant leadership.
Servant leadership.
Servant leadership is a very powerful leadership tool too, because there are some servant leaders in a lot of times we don't give servant leadership its just due. You follow what I'm saying? Because people who can lead through service is very, very powerful.
And it takes a special kind of person that can lead that way for sure.
And you know, and let me just say to our listeners, we brought her on today because I am really, really big. Y'all know how I be fussing about education. Y'all already know.
You and me both.
And y'all know how I fussed when we got Dr. Sims. I ain't got no problem with Dr. Sims. If you listening, I ain't throwing stones at you because it is what it is.
I call him Facebook Dan.
It's
Facebook.
I call him Facebook Dan
because he gonna have that Facebook thing.
He stay on Facebook.
you know, and I think that that's good in its own way. And he has met with me. I've met with him. However, I was not for him being the superintendent because I felt like we had people on the inside
that were qualified. Absolutely.
And they were women, and they were Black women, which is, you know, I'm like, okay, he a Black man. And now and I will say this too, it's not all about being Black. I'm not talking about it per se, but I do believe that we had some really good people who could have led our children. And you said something very interesting, which is I'm going to go back into, is that you got to know your children. You've got to know your community.
You know, I was going to touch on that. I think that to me, Dr. Danley was, hey, Ricky, both the Crawfords on here. I wanted to touch on the fact that I felt strongly that you were one of the most, or if not the most qualified, because you knew the children, because you were kind of, you know, your boots were on the ground. You were there in the trenches, like you knew what our children in this county needed, what, you know, they were facing. And I think that is the most important thing. Now, my son, you know, was raised here in Bibb County, and in his time of school, or the whole, you know, time he was in school from kindergarten through high school, he had 4 superintendents. Now, I don't know if that's how it works in Georgia, but I'm from Texas. I'm born and raised in Texas, went to school in Texas, and my entire time growing up, we had 1 superintendent. So I had never seen anything like that in my life. When Jimmy was in kindergarten, he was in King Danforth. He was only there 2 or 3 years. He had 3 principals.
And it makes
it. And that was the introduction for me into Bibb County, coming from Atlanta. And in my mind, I'm like, how do you have a turnover rate in leadership like that? And so I knew it was an issue to begin with, because how you had him many superintendents. When you put it into perspective, Jimmy started kindergarten. I did put him in private school for a little while, but he came back in 7th or 8th grade. So just in that time, from kindergarten to 2nd grade, then from 7th grade to 12th, there were 4 superintendents. That's unprecedented. That's not normal.
And let me just say, and when we do, we have a succession plan, and everybody want to know, and I'm going to say it, why House and County schools so good? Well, because they groom the people that are going to come into leadership, and they just transfer up. Would you not agree? And
they promote within.
They promote within. Where every time I look around Bibb County, looking for somebody on the outside, and I want you to speak to these, coming in from the outside, and how does that affect you? Because you were in leadership, and then, in the presentation of all of these new ideas that fail, I bet you we got so much junk in that school system that we didn't bought that we can be thrown away.
Too many things.
Too
many things where we're not getting a return on our investment. And that's what he didn't probably say it in the most eloquent way. But in terms from the federal on down, with the money going into the Department of Education, we are not, as American children, we're not getting the return on the investment. And so but to tap in on what you were saying in terms of the leadership. So we talked about it before we got here, and we keeping it real, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much so. As real as it can be.
So when I was a teacher, I was told by a principal, because we taught at Miller Middle School. I came with the teacher, Rosalind Roger, Betsy Hodgson. I mean, we had a strong faculty, and we demanded excellence from our leaders. And when we didn't, and we saw the leaders was mediocre, we would be vocal, we'll get Sylvia McGee down, and we'll try to see what we can do. So I was told by a leader, she said, well, you can't, you might want to not do that. I said, well, why not? Why can't we say how things? And I was a young baby. She said, well, you probably won't never get promoted that way. So you saying that I have to play a game, or wear a mask to get promoted in this district? So I guess I will never just get promoted. And I was on a trajectory, when you leave teaching, you be a principal. I've always wanted to be a high school principal. Then you want to go work at the board. Then you want to go on the superintendent route, right? Well, in this district, I had to make some people understand that what DEI is, right? See, society's rhetoric is that DEI is black and white.
Right.
So I had to make them understand how DEI is operated within our black culture.
Come on now.
Because if you are not a part of the sorority,
come on,
or the fraternity,
or have the right last name,
or the biggest church in the city, or you just didn't get the interview, or you did not get the job, and it is very evident that you have DEI hires in some of these positions.
Now you said it right. And I'm going to go, I just want to piggyback on that, because I know for myself, because I felt though, as though I didn't have the right last name, and I didn't kiss up to the right people. And that's why I have not moved the way that I needed to move in this community, because I have not been a part, come on now, and I hadn't thought about it like that until you said it, of the DEI hiring system, because I was not.
But it's black and white, right? Why do you have a school with all of these alphas on your faculty?
Let's pause that question right quick. Hello, caller.
She could eliminate it, everything she said, by saying one thing.
What?
She went in the clique.
You right.
That's Leon.
I know who it is.
She know who it is. You went in the clique. And when I go out to talk to people, I tell young people and old people, stay out the clique. Because when the clique falls, you're going to fall too. Do your job. There's nothing wrong with being sociable. Do your job. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going to parties, blah, blah, blah. But stay out the clique. I was at the Medical Center Ambulance Service for 32 years. I got one new ambulance. Every time they got a group of ambulance, the clique got new ambulances. My late mama said you didn't buy that one ambulance. My late mama said you didn't buy that one medical center on it. Drive what you're supposed to drive, do your job, and come home. You got to click. Stay out the clique. You should not have to be in a clique to succeed in the workplace.
Right. That's right.
Come on now.
Okay? I was at the medical center 32 years. Okay? 32 years. So I know what it's like to click. Okay? I've seen people screw up and nothing happened to them. I've seen people make one mistake and get the damn near the death penalty because they are in the clique. But trust me, when the clique falls, everybody falls. I see it. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. At any rate, I got that from Bobby Clark. Dr. Dantley. That's a phrase I got from the late Bobby Clark. Any rate, I still use it.
Well, thank you for calling, Leon. We always appreciate you. Yeah. But you know, and that is how I know you were saying that we get mediocre people in positions because of that clique. And that is, I hadn't really looked at it like that until you said it, but I'm like, she's absolutely correct.
So how is it that you have a hiring practice and what's the probability that everybody you hire is going to be from the same sorority or fraternity or the same church or the same whatever? And so I would bring those issues up. Like they want to say during COVID, learning loss. Well, you want to blame the test scores on a reading on COVID. They showed a data thing. This was when the past superintendent there. And I'm looking at the data. Everybody looking at data. They say, what do you see? I said, well, the children weren't learning pre-COVID, during COVID, and after COVID.
That's it.
I said, because there's no statistical difference. And if nothing is moving statistically, is your intervention is not working. Do you think they stayed in that space to try to unpack what we need to do next to help move reading schools? Everybody he went on to the next slide. They don't want to hear the truth.
Well,
they want to feel good.
And that is and right now, when something go wrong in Bibb County, right now we get a consultant. That's what we do. We get a new consultant. How much we pay them? I know that, you may have some data on that. I don't really know, but I heard that they be paying them $100,000, and that's what the street committee told me.
Yeah, they get a consultant. When you come in, you got a consultant to help with the strategic plan. When you come in, you should know how to write a strategic plan.
Wait a minute. Hey, hold on. You mean that? Wait. You mean to tell me the new superintendent we had come in had a consultant to write his strategic plan?
Well, they facilitated the process. They a consulting group.
Okay, they facilitated.
But I could have, every dance can write a strategic plan. We have enough intelligent people in this district to write a strategic plan.
I can write a strategic.
GPT can write a strategic plan.
But that's just my point. And then these consultants, they just do the cookie cutter. Right?
Yeah.
But you want to question the consultants that I had at my school. You want to question their expertise. I will put my consultants up here because not only do they do quality work, they love children. They tutor children. When the consultant, you think they are part of the faculty with the people that have come to help me turn around Westside and So Academy. And you have children. I welcomed all children in that building because children are already rejected. Get out of my classroom, go up to the office, get out of my school, go on to the, get out. So you keep hearing, those kids keep hearing, get out, suspend, get out, get out, get out. Now, I know I say 10 days charges, but I put them in jail. I help them get out of jail. But you just don't stay there a minute and help them get out of jail. So the thing is, yes, I'm going to give you that hard hand, but I'm going to give you that soft cushion so that you won't fail. I have graduated children that was in jail because the deputies would take the work. I give it to them, make them work down at the LEC.
No.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I didn't even know that was even occurring. I had no idea.
You just make it occur. This boy got to graduate. I called them officers who I know. I need this boy to have this word. He got to graduate.
And he graduated in jail.
Yeah, he got his credits. Got his credits. Yeah, but I've done several children like that. Children like that.
But like you said, you have to be in. You're doing it for the right reason. That's
why I know what that jail will do. You have not because you ask not. If I go down to that jail, I need to see that boy. It could be outside visiting. I said, I need to see him. I need to roll up on him. You just arrested him. I need to have a conversation with him.
And then they would let you do it.
Let me see him. Why you die? What you do? But you got to care.
And they have to know you care. The students have to know you care.
That's it. They're not going to care unless they know how much you care. And what you see right here, what you see is a manifestation of some leadership character failure. Right? And that's just the honest truth. Now, is it everybody? No, it's not everybody. But we have some issues, and it's not the schools. That 484 Mulberry Street needs to be handled, right? It needs to be handled. And they need to be held accountable for what it is they are supposed to be doing and be truthful. I mean, that PR stuff, that masking, what place you don't ever hear nothing bad? I want him to get on that mic and tell these parents, if you fight on my campus, you will be arrested. I'm waiting for the day, Because see, I told him I couldn't be no mayor or no superintendent. I'd be walking around with a bullhorn. Everybody get in the house.
Joe Clark.
No, I agree, because that fighting on school campus and them children, the way the children are fighting and carrying on and doing all of that, I'm like, how are they doing this on school, on the school ground and things like that?
And this is another important fact that I've noticed. I've actually witnessed with my own eyes. I think the reason why the behavior has gotten so far out of control is there is no consequence for the bad action. Like you said, if they're fighting on campus, they going to jail, they getting locked up, they getting out of here. But some of these schools, and I won't be,
but they're told that they're told to do that
right there. That's where I'm going.
The person came behind me. Those children fought. They did the progression 3 days, and then if they fought again 5, they went up the thing.
Right.
You don't need to, if you know you got a fighter on your campus and you know they're actively, that is some things you don't need to do in progression.
Yeah.
All right. See, and that takes leadership
to know that.
Decisive leadership to know that, no, I'm not going to put up with that.
But they are told to do that.
Right.
And then they stop those master schedules. Stop the master schedules. Move the evening school. They put West Side in a traditional school. And what happened out there? It went back to what it was. It went back to what it was. And you just got to just really, 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 I don't even ask a lot of interview questions. I don't. And with my teachers, my staff, I said, do you love children? I said, do you love bad children?
Well, see, you wouldn't hide me because I'd have said no.
And I don't hide nobody getting off the elevator either, because it's some stairs. Why would I hire somebody getting off the elevator when you could have taken the stairs? What is that telling me?
I got bad knees. No.
No. That's telling me. I look at different stuff like that.
But you know what? I'm putting all jokes aside. I got it. Hey, Johnny, what's the word?
Hey, Johnny.
I'm just tuning in. What's up, Julie?
But you're the thing about it is, I wanted you to be honest. I wanted you to be truthful, because when I said something and I was running for school superintendent, they say, Brenda, you shouldn't say that the children bad. I said, they bad.
My children got in trouble.
My children are bad. And so they was like, you shouldn't.
The Bible says that the ways of children are foolish. The Bible says the ways of children are foolish. They're going to do silly things. They're going to make bad decisions. They're going to do that. Okay, even your best child gonna make a bad decision. It's nothing wrong. Now, we're not speaking, we're just saying the behavior that we see, but we're not speaking that in your future, because I was a bad child, but I came out like this. This is what you are now, but then you're gonna be this in a few moments.
And I was that type of child who ran my mouth all the time in school.
No.
couldn't have even.
Now, where was the bell?
She didn't do the bell.
But the thing, and I would say anything.
Being good today, Johnny.
And I would say anything to anybody. Because I really believe in just kind of speaking your mind and your heart. And I know I need to have some sort of tact with it. But when it comes to the school system, I got a real problem. I'm like, property taxes, my taxes is going up. And thank you, Lester, for what they are going to take and lower the taxes for the older people, because mine is going to be lowered at, 6.5. And God knows we need to have that, But look, y'all so low down talking about you have
but the thing is, you taking the taxes up to cover a deficit. So our sales tax is supposed to help pay a bill.
Right. And so now we get, you get some school money, but then when you don't have leadership that's willing to make the tough decisions, now here we go, that head, as you say, it rots from the top.
Fish rots from the head.
So there you go. You won't make a decision. So when our property taxes drop, the school taxes go back up. I'm like, can we get a break? And then as far as I'm concerned, what's going on with the children have not improved because you keep bringing in your buddies. I'm going to say this, I don't know what year it was, but you bring in not just your buddies, but you bring in unqualified buddies. One person they brought in, they paid him, I don't know, I'm going to just throw a number, I think about $4,000, $5,000. He didn't even have a teaching certificate. And he was right at the Coliseum welcoming the new teachers in, and he can't even teach.
Oh, the speaker.
You know who I'm talking about. And then you got people sitting right here mad at me because I didn't support the new superintendent. But I'm like,
support the thing. I think, okay, I like him, right? But I think he aligned with the wrong people.
I agree.
And so when he aligned with the wrong people, then he went in a wrong direction because the people who he aligned with were not doing the work. And the people they talked against, we are doing the work.
Come on.
He should have, there are 3 women that he brought in later. That's Dr. Candace, Dr. Williford, those 2 especially. They know school improvement work.
Okay.
They should have been on the front end, because if they were on the front end, then you can dance, right? You can woo. You can do that if you got your team. Because when I was an assistant principal, it was my job to make my superintendent, my principal look good.
Right.
He get too many hits. He ain't supposed to get no hits. It's somebody that's supposed to be in front of that. Dr. Jones didn't get hits because Tansy was in front of it.
Come on now.
You see what I'm saying? You don't have, and I told him, I'm not saying anything I didn't tell him. I said, you don't have a 2-3, something going on. Because people shouldn't be going back and forth with you on social media.
Come on.
There's a weak area there in your communications.
And let me just say,
you got people around you not paying attention. Why are you getting those hits? Whether you are aligned with the wrong people, you should not be. My principal, Jerry, she didn't get hits. Now you go on back back this way.
And see, you're absolutely correct in that even I myself intervened, and I won't say how, but needless to say, I wanted to know why the school superintendent had not met with Representative Miriam Parrish, who sits on the education committee for up in Atlanta. It was like a year before he met with her. And this is what I know.
I just think you have to surround yourself with
you got to surround you with the right people.
And so that you did not. You had people surrounding you that had an agenda.
That's right.
And one of their agendas was to move me out the way, whatever they had going on. And when Dr. Jones, 2 things he said twice at Westside and out and so he told them downtown cabinet. Now I want you to think about David and Saul. He said, I think we are underutilizing Dr. Danley in this county. He said, I think he saw the turnaround. He knew how that alternative school was. I think we are underutilizing Dr. Danley in that town. Now, what happens when another person is just like how they did Daniel and the Lions Den? One becomes more capable than the other. Then they set out to put Daniel in the Lions Den, right? But instead of us elevating and trying to work together in unity, right?
Right.
Then we began to pull everybody down. Try to find out what somebody is doing that's breaking the rules or whatever you say is being done. And so after that, what happened when the people cheered for David and didn't cheer for Saul? What it says, Saul eyed who? David from that point on. And that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. I was gonna get one of those EXO jobs. 2 principals told one of the board members that if I got that job, that they would quit.
Wow.
And they were the most ineffective leaders.
Come on now.
Why you don't want me to have a job? Because you know you're going to have some level of accountability. You're going to have some level of accountability. So those are the types. And then they put someone in the job that didn't even stay a year left and went to another county to be a principal of a high school job. It's the hiring practices here. Those types of things. You think it's the schools, but it's the head, the hiring practices, the different types of things that have been happening in leadership. Nobody wants to address leadership. Nobody. It's not a problem.
Sounds personal.
It's not a problem.
That they're hiring people they know, like you said, the click thing. I wanted to ask you something. Do you think that Macon has too many schools for its population?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So I think that's one of the problems. I just think that's one of the great problems that we have here. And do you understand why we have so many schools?
Yeah.
What's the
well, one of the
because
things,
let me go on the record. I think there are too many schools in Macon.
We want the truth.
Okay, so let's start when Central and Miller, when it split and they developed West Side and Weaver. Okay. So you have, at that point, you had district people looking at the redistricting, right? Athletic people. Okay. Because Robert Davis was going to be at West Side. So you needed some of these inner city football teams to move to West Side.
The football players.
Yeah, football players. Not the players. So you redistrict the lines so that these players can go play for Robert Davis. Now, this is accurate. I'm going to give you the evidence. My 2 different scenarios. Hillcrest children on one side, they go to West Side. My house, my old house on Cherokee, my house right there on Cherokee is not zoned for Central.
Which is crazy.
Not zoned for Central.
That's crazy.
You have Hillcrest, some parts like Mimosa. You got Mimosa, you have Burton, all those. They go way to West Side. But the Lizella children, they don't go to West Side. Or even some of the children that live around West Side, they don't go to West Side. Lizella children, especially if they on this side of Lizella, they go to Rutland.
Wow.
It's designed. And then you have Southwest Zone that has all the housing projects. They have because it was some children from that go to Rutland used to go to Southwest, but Rutland opened in that South Bibb area. All the housing projects go to Southwest. So you have those Hartley, Pie, you have Ballard, you have no. Now, can you turn those schools around? Yes, you can. But you're not hiring the right people. You having people who are leaders of those schools who's not even from here. They not gonna be walking up and down the street trying to get. I stayed in my neighborhood when I was a teacher at Miller. I stayed right there on Cherokee and I didn't move. I was a neighborhood educator.
Come on.
So
now.
my children saw me at Tom's. My children saw me at Kroger. They saw me at the Center Hill Baptist Church in Unionville, a neighborhood educator. And that's very important. It's very important. But this is this design that they have, and it's a stronghold right there. So then you don't give Southwest Zone the staff that they need. You don't give them you can't give everybody a cookie cutter staff.
No,
Right.
you
If
cannot.
at the alternative school, I didn't need an AP, right? I didn't need an AP. So my brother did. So I said, well, put my AP, go give it to somebody that needs it, because they have those children, they have the hardest job. You should be looking at these schools. We ran that over there, VIP Academy and SOAR Academy, right there. It was me and a clerk and the transition, all that. Guess what they got over there now? 2 principals, 2 secretaries, 2 registrars,
Right.
2.
Yeah.
You can save that money.
Yeah.
That's what you can save. But I'm not one to not help the others.
And see,
No, aren't they? They're actually talking about closing. So is it some elementary schools? Some more elementary schools?
Well, they're calling it consolidation.
Well, okay. Consolidating.
Consolidation. Now, if the schools, but this is how I feel about that. If your school is on that list to close and have less than those 450 students, you have to, as the leader of that school, you got to make your school attractive for people to want to come. Over time, West Side was made attractive. SOAR was made attractive. You market your school, you get people. Our enrollment went from 946 to close to 1,300 kids. I had 300 carpool students. Then other demographics began to come in. Why? Because it was attractive, personalized learning, safety. I was the only school that had metal detectors. They didn't want the metal detectors at the other schools because they said it would be a bad look.
And see, but you didn't play. The thing I like about you, that what you've said over and over, and I still gonna go back to boundaries, is, you know, you didn't play. You didn't have parents coming to your school cussing CUSs on you. G. You out. They didn't run your school.
Well, they tried.
Okay.
But I'm from Fort Hill.
Okay.
Right? So here's the thing. You don't get to come in here because at that point, if I feel threatened, whatever, all bets are off. It's not that party. Because you're going to leave here in handcuffs, you're going to do whatever. We can have a conversation. But now they tried once or 2 times. And one of them was one of my football parents. And he wanted that he was a top wide receiver. And he wanted that boy phone. I said, sir, if I give you this phone, your child will not put his feet on that field. Because I will sit them down.
Okay.
You're not going to go. If that stuff happened over there at Northeast Southwest game, if I had seen one of my boys or whatever do a personal foul to somebody else, I would have been at that fence as a principal. Do it again.
That's what I'm talking about right there. See,
that's what I mean.
Do it again.
Having accountability, making and I'm gonna say this. I think, in my opinion, one of the other large things that we need to change the narrative on is making the children responsible and accountable for what they do. I think that from what I've seen, it's like they sugarcoat everything and it's okay. It's their home life. It's mental health. These children have no personal accountability for what it is that they do.
So, they got an IEP. They on a 504 and all of that.
And
so
that's a victimization.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
And that is designed to oppress and not elevate.
Yeah.
Right. And so they rise, and so that didn't happen. Yes, you got this IEP, but by 12th grade, you should be on consultative. But that means that you must get with those PEC teachers and say you want to see growth over time.
Right. Absolutely.
If this child is at this reading level, then this child needs to be here. Your data. And then that data informs your evaluation. It goes back to what you were saying, accountability. A 12th grader, if they are growing, they should be ready for, nobody should be on an IEP with some of those goals that I have seen. And I have seen goals that haven't been changed for years.
Yeah.
And that is that is a miscalculated IEP.
Yes.
That is malpractice. And so I deal with that one at a time.
And let me say this is super, and this happened, I know firsthand with my son. The counselors and the staff do not want to have those yearly meetings. They don't want to do it. They will say, well, I mean, everything is good. We don't need to make any changes.
That's illegal. They can't do that.
So that's why I have my own little advocacy. I talk to a lot of these parents that have children under IEPs, and I'm like, you don't even understand the power that you have with the IEP. I'm like, you have to make sure you got to go in. You got to reassess every year with these IEPs. I said, they're there, to be utilized. But if you are not following up, then unfortunately, the school is just going to kind of let it fade. And like you said, that they're not going to come and reassess, because I actually had a counselor tell me, well, let's just put him on a 504 because the IEP is too much trouble. Those are her exact words. I think we need to put him under a 504 because his IEP is just too much trouble.
And we're not bashing. I want people to know we are not, because we are raising concerns doesn't mean we're bashing the school system. The school system paid my bills. That's not what this is. This is accountability and putting the focus and holding leadership responsible.
And I want to say this because
we have schools that are doing it well.
Right. And I want to put this out here because we're getting close to the end. Okay. But I just want to say this. I would love for you to come back next week and continue this conversation. I'm going to be having surgery. Y'all put me in prayer. I'm going to have eye surgery on Monday, and keep me in prayer. Emily is going to take me, and I should be back before time for the show, but I would love for you to come back. I'm gonna have a patch on my eye. Don't you be making jokes at me and stuff like that, because
Captain Jack Sparrow.
We really didn't get a chance to finish the conversation, because you really, now let me just tell you, she had, it's good to diagnose, and we have diagnosed. We may not have diagnosed as well, but the therapy is here,
and we have solutions too.
And that's what I wanted to talk about.
And let me talk about this book right quick. So she's going to come back next if she has the opportunity. But this is Dr. Julia Danley's book. It's called Lead Like an Eagle and Think Like a Lion. Lead Like an Eagle, Think Like a Lion by Dr. Julia Danley. And this book is available on Amazon. So we'll put the link up, and we will see you guys next Monday, same time, same place. And we love you.
Do you think you can come back?
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the